You are listening to the AEP Radio Network.
Hey everybody, you're listening to AEP Radio, and I'm your host, Matthew Thompson. Happy National Engineers Week. And today we're spotlighting one of our own best and brightest. Jeremiah Sharp is an engineer associate working in the new project development team in Generation. In this episode, we're going to get to know Jeremiah and talk about his life, career, and what made him decide to be an engineer. So sit back and enjoy. Did you know from a young age that you wanted to be an engineer?
Absolutely. So yeah, when I was a kid, I was always kind of tinkering with things. I was taking things apart, wanting to see how they worked, and kind of grew an appreciation for like the inner workings of things. If you ask my parents, I was destructive, right? For me, I was inquisitive.
What were some things that you took apart?
I think the first thing that I ever kind of took apart was maybe just like a pen. You know what I mean? Like a push pen, kind of. You take it apart, you see the springs and all the other pieces in it. There were some things that I took apart that I could not get back together, walkie-talkies or things like that, but it was cool seeing the inner workings of those things, all the little small pieces that kind of work in unison to create the product. It was fascinating to me.
So tell us about your job at AEP. What does it entail? Do you enjoy it?
I'm in Generation, and I am with the new project development group. Basically, we have new generation that comes online, and I conduct power flow studies just to make sure that the existing transmission system and things in the area don't blow up, right? That we're not overloading transmission lines or shutting down units and causing faults, basically. The group that I'm in now, interconnection and planning, is very technical, and it was challenging at first, but I'll come to think about it, I think that's what intrigues me about it. There's so many things that we do and, so many problems that we solve that I don't think I'll ever get bored of it.
So you interned when you were at Ohio State, right? Is that when you first started interning?
Yeah, so actually I did I had two stints interning, which I was fortunate enough to intern at AEP both times. So in high school, I was part of a program called Project Lead the Way, which was a program that allowed high school students the chance to kind of sample some engineering classes. In addition to that program, in the summertime, they worked on resume building, your elevator speech, and they worked on getting us internships. And I was fortunate to land at AEP. So spent a couple summers there and going through college. I seen the booth at AEP at the career fair, and I was like, that's the one. You know what I mean? I really enjoyed my time there, so it was very nice to come back, and then interning in college, and ultimately them offering me a full time position. It was such a full circle moment. I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity.
But your college career wasn't linear, right? You had a little detour. Can you talk about that?
My journey, at least my college career, I did my first 2 years at Ohio State. Unfortunately, I ended up taking like a leave of absence, so I dropped out for a little bit, and I was due to a number of different things. Some of it financial. The other piece of it, I had a lot of things going on in my personal life where I had family members dying on me, and not like the old aunts and uncles. I'm talking like 20 something year old cousin, years older than me. So it was kind of my first run in with dealing with that kind of situation, and it really did take a toll on me. So I was kind of unmotivated for a little bit, so I took a leave of absence, kind of stepped away from the university, got married, had a baby, and once I had my daughter, I just kind of said to myself, like, hey, you're working at the bike shop now, because I'm an avid cyclist too. So, working at the bike shop, I was like, this is a really cool gig, right? It pays the bills and I'm enjoying myself. But, having a child, I'm like, hey, we got to step it up. Like, how am I going to instill these values of, you work hard for the things you want, and just going after your goals, achieving your goals, right? Relentlessly. It was one of the biggest motivations for me to go back and finish up my degree. And luckily, I had a lot of resources able to help me out with that.
What were some of those resources available that helped you get back in the swing of things at college?
Before I got into OSU, there's a program called Preface. It's a summer program for minority engineers, and it kind of gives you a sample of what college life is going to be like. One of the people one of the in the program, Miss Lisa Barclay, she had moved up a couple seats in my times away from OSU. So I emailed her and said, hey, I'm thinking about giving this thing another shot. She emailed me back and said, hey, we have some funding. She's like, if you're serious about what you're doing and you want to finish your degree, she's like, we'll pay for it.
Did you immediately think like, great, I'll do it? Or did you have to like sit on it for a while and think about it?
I sat on that news for probably a couple weeks, honestly, just because you can't go back into the same situation with the same mindset, right? Old keys don't open new doors. But yeah, no, I had to sit down with myself and was like, hey man, if you're going to do this, you're going to give it 110%. Like it's you have a lot more to lose, right? You have a lot more at stake. So I was happy I was able to come back and knock it out, man. It was, yeah, it's been fantastic. It's been a fantastic ride. Definitely been blessed.
So, what's your favorite part of your job? What do you like enjoying most? When you come to work, you're like, wow, I get to do this.
I think the favorite part of my job is going out and actually visiting the plants because in generation we are more so just in the office and we're supporting the plants, but until you really get out and see the operation in full scale, that's what I really grew such an appreciation for what we were doing here. I definitely enjoy getting out to the plants and meeting the plant personnel and just bringing the whole operation full circle, building that relationship.
What does the future look like for Jeremiah Sharp? What do you hope to achieve in the short term, the long term?
Short term goal right now, I'm working on getting my PE. So I first got to take the FE exam. And for PE, for people who don't know, it's professional engineering license. So yeah, working on getting taking the test to be able to get my PE license one day. And I really enjoy investing in people and seeing the growth of others. And I think I'd have the best of both worlds, you know what I mean, leading a team of engineers one day. I'm hopeful. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe blissfully optimistic, you know?
Thanks, Jeremiah, for sharing your story with us. Thanks to all of our listeners, and we'll see you next time on AEP Radio.
This has been a presentation of the AEP Radio Network.